Reuben Amorim has been sacked. That's right. Reuben Amorim is no longer manager of Manchester United. He has been sacked, and it is Darren Fletcher taking over in the interim. And we're taking over with this random guy. But once Man United announce a new manager, new permanent manager, then we will rebuild again with them. But we're going to be doing it realistically, guys. So today, looking at the squad, the most exciting thing about Amorim leaving is that we can firstly bin this awful formation. I don't know, doesn't suit Man United playing 5 at the back, however you look at it. So what we're going to do is revert to a good old 4-2-3-1 wide, because we want our best players playing in their best positions. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? You got a really good player, makes sense to play them in their best position. So I'll look at the roles in a bit, but let's get this lineup sorted. So obviously there's still injuries and whatnot, but our best lineup is probably going to be Matthijs de Ligt with Lisandro Martinez. We're going to play Luke Shaw at left back. Some say he doesn't have the legs for it anymore, but I saw him play left wing back a few times this season, and he was okay. He was fine. Didn't get injured, fortunately. So we'll do that. And guys, free Kobbie Mainoo, man. It just looks good, him being back in the lineup. Might need to retrain him to be a DM. Maybe Casemiro can change. Casemiro, long term, it probably will be Ugarte, maybe for the rest of the season. Him and Kobbie behind Bruno, perhaps. I don't know. I'm just glad that Amorim is not United manager anymore. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments, but I see nothing but positives from this. Yeah, I think he got us so accustomed to losing that whenever we got a half-decent result, we were over the moon. And don't get me wrong, his departure does leave a couple of questions. For example, what happens to Amad Diallo? Does he fit with Mbeumo, Cunha, the likes of Sesko, Mason Mount as well, playing some of his better football? Does he now just move over to the left and rotate with Cunha? There are a few questions. Definitely a few questions. But I think they're all good questions because it shows that we've got a bit of depth. You would never have thought that. Looking at the last month of football, you would not think Man United have any depth whatsoever. But we actually do. So let's see. We also are in January, guys, so we could make a transfer. Now, I do want to keep this to be a realistic rebuild. So if United do bring someone in, it's probably going to be someone younger, someone that probably won't have that big of an effect on the starting lineup. But also, Toby Collier did get recalled. So yeah, I can't imagine Man United bringing anyone unless there's a loan deal available for somebody. So we'll retrain a few positions. We can finally put some players back in their rightful positions. What? EA Sports. It definitely is not going to take Luke Shaw 260 weeks to be a left back. He's literally a left back. You know what? Maybe Luke Shaw's going to have to probably stay a centre back, but he shouldn't really. He's lost his 6 managers, guys. 6. Crazy. But what I will do is I'll try and sell Malacia because I think that's going to happen, even if it's for like 500k. And then Amas is out on loan. He comes back from Wednesday, I believe in January, but he hasn't come back yet. So I'm just going to loan him out. And then Diego Leon can get a loan. One thing we need to think about now, if this was me, and I might do this from my perspective because it's an opportunity to give my thoughts on what Man United should do. Personally, I kind of think Lenny Yoro looks like he needs a loan. He needs to be starting week in, week out. Thinking of like how Saliba went back on loan before joining Arsenal. Maybe he needs that. And now that we're going back to a fullback, we've got Martinez, De Ligt, Harry Maguire. Obviously, De Ligt and Maguire injured at the minute. But if Luke Shaw's going to stay a centre-back, we've also got Aiden Heaven, who looks better than Yoro at the moment. And, I mean, Tyler Fredrickson was terrible against Grimsby. And I don't think I've really had much confidence in him since. But what I'm most looking forward to, guys, is Bruno fix the game. Am I missing something? This game needs fixing. Why is it going to take... I understand we had Reuben Amorim. I know a lot of players aren't the same, but Bruno Fernandes, it shouldn't even... I should just be able to switch him to a 10. Either way, 143 weeks. Fix the game. Ahmad can go to right mid, and he can rotate with Mbeumo, who will also be a right mid. Chido, Xerxes, Seshko. Chido actually hasn't looked that great in the under-21s, I'll be honest with you. So we could loan him out, we could keep him. Maybe we'll loan him out, I don't know. Cunha, I need to make a left mid, and I'm actually going to keep Mount as maybe Bruno's backup. I don't know, I really don't like that. It's going to take Bruno 143 weeks to become a cam. It's just so ridiculous. But anyway, hopefully in the next update they add some of the youngsters. Obviously they've been on the bench. Bendito Mantato made his debut alongside Jack Fletcher. Tyler Fletcher's been on the bench a few times. Who else has been on the bench? A few others. So maybe they'll be added to the game next update. And an interesting one, guys, is what happens to the futures of one Marcus Rashford and one Jadon Sancho. I mean, technically Jadon Sancho wasn't leaving the club when Amorim came. Well, it wasn't Amorim that kind of drove him out of the club. I think the Sancho relationship's pretty much done. He will be released. Marcus Rashford's an interesting one. We get a half-decent manager. Rashford may see an opportunity to stay at United. And that left mid position's up for grabs. With Cunha, I also think Bruno probably leaves soon, you know. There's a lot of questions at Man United at the minute. I am going to loan out some of these youngsters. Maybe they will grow. I'm also going to try and... I'm going to just... sorry, but I'm just going to release Malacia. All the best. Just find a new club, man. Vitek one for the future. Don't mind it. Probably will be back up to Le Mans next year. Anana. And Bayern there will probably be sold. We'll get to January. We'll see what things are looking like. I am going to loan out, though. I am going to loan out Lenny Yoro. I think that is something that probably should happen in real life. Now that we're away from this free at the back system, because I think his potential is there. He just needs minutes. And right now, if the Lick's back fit, like even let's say tomorrow, right? Let's apply the AFCON and injuries going on. Who do Man United play? We probably play Dorgu right mid, which I don't mind. I think we play... where is he? Where's Josh? Play Josh there. I guarantee you Kobe's going to be back from injury sooner than you think, now that Amorim's gone. Apparently, was he even injured? I don't know. But I think going into the next game against Burnley, hopefully this video is out before the Burnley game. I think this is probably the formation. Maybe we see like Manu Ugarte going into CDM with Casemiro. And yeah, I guarantee you we beat Burnley if we start like this. It's just such a simple team, but yeah, it feels so simple. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But guys, Amorim's gone. So realistically, guys, I actually don't think United will sign anyone notable in January. So that being said, we're going to sim to the end of the season and see how we're looking. And you know what? Before we simulate to the end of the season, I feel like EA have kind of forced my hand here. So we're going to play 4-3-3 holding instead. But if we adjust the player roles, it should be okay. So let's assume Bruno is playing on this right side. Make him playmaker attack. We're going to have a holding defender and then someone that's a bit box to box, can do a bit of both. And then, yep, that will be Mbumo inside forward. Actually, I might have him more as a winger. And then Cunha as that inside forward. And then Seshko up front. Do I want Dallo to... I want one that overlaps on Cunha's side. So we'll have it as a wing back support maybe. And then this I kind of just want to be a normal fullback. What does versatile do? Can move inside to form a back three or push slightly forward and wider to support build. Oh yeah, that's fine. In fact, I'm going to play with two versatile fullbacks. I think that should suit us a bit better. Yeah. That kind of shape. Hopefully the left back will overlap and stuff. And yeah, I think that sort of suits United once we have everyone back fit. So guys, we've made it to the end of the season. And you know what? Not an unrealistic way for the season to go. Finishing in the top half potentially. Could also drop down to maybe like 11th or 12th. Also could go up to like 7th and be in the Conference League. So it's not too bad. Unfortunately, Arsenal do look like they're going to win the league. So pretty realistic, I think. In terms of competitions, you already know we lost in the Carabao Cup to Grimsby, but we managed to win the FA Cup. Now, again, it's not against the realms of possibility. Obviously, we beat Brighton 2-1. Now, I could be uploading this, and at the weekend we could lose to Brighton, and then it's obviously not a possibility. But let's see. We got Sheffield United in the next round, 4-2, beat Coventry 1-0, beat Nottingham Forest, then beat Blackpool. So I mean, it's not a bad route to the final, and then we've done it before. We could beat City in the final, so you never know. But that does mean we have Europa League football next year to look forward to. Bit more money. As for the team, this is what it's looking like. Casemiro has started to regress. Aiden Heaven probably didn't play that much. It was probably Delict and Martinez with Dallo, or with Dorgu left back, Dallo or Mazraoui in at right back. Cunha, Seshko, and Bumo seems to be working. Kobe Mainu, I was hoping he'd grow a bit more, but he's probably just getting used to playing football again. So fair play to him. And you know what? Talking about Man United and the board, a lot of people said that the board have turned on Amorim. Now, Amorim's press conference made it clear that he had no sort of future with United. He said after 18 months, after his contract running out, he is going to leave. So you might as well get rid of him now, if that is the case. So I'm not too surprised about that. The board probably should have sacked him earlier, let's be honest. But also, Ineos aren't covered in glory right now. I don't think they've shown themselves to be the best decision makers. If you think about Dan Ashworth and all of that, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Sir Jim had an interview a few months ago saying we need to give Amorim a few years. Look at Arteta, give the man a few years, and now he's sacked. So I don't know. It's not a great situation, not a great look for Amorim, not a great look for the United board. We do finish 9th, and one thing I will show you is we did loan out some players. So again, I kind of hope it happens in real life, but I don't think it is that realistic. That is Lenny Yoro going on loan. I loaned him out to Monaco. We also loaned out Chido, Diego Leon, Harry Amas, and Bayande has been sold to Celtic. So next season, he'll be off to Celtic. And let's get into the player stats for the season. So let's have a look at how realistic this is. I mean, 12 goals for Benjamin Sesko. He's got 2 at the minute. I think that's a bit too many for him, but I'd love for him to get to 12 goals. 12 goals for Cunha, I think that could be realistic. He's maybe about, how many goals does he have at the minute? Maybe like 3, to be honest. But I could see him going on a run of games where he scores a few goals. And Bumo's on 6. If he doubles it to 12, yep, sounds about right. And then Bruno 9 goals, 11 assists. And then Casemiro regressing. He's not renewing his contract, by the way. So I think in real life, I would do the same because he's on so much. So that's fine. I actually have an idea for that CDM position for next year. And also, if I go and show you, Tom Heaton is leaving. I mean, he probably should retire, maybe be a goalkeeper coach or something like that. And Harry Maguire is going to leave. I think in real life, they might give him another year extension. But again, on pretty big money. I wish EA would update their wage structure. But Maguire could be someone that leaves on a free as well. Okay, we are in season number 2, and this is probably the most exciting part. We get to change things around at Man United. I'm going to simulate one day Sabayande is no longer in the squad. And yeah, we get to see what we think will happen. Guys, let me know what you think will happen in the comments. And what is this? The club is in a difficult financial situation. Any profits you make from transfers completed won't be added to... That's so funny. Okay. Could be realistic, but I don't think so. Anyway, let's try and sort out this team. So obviously World Cup going on. So we'll do it from the squad hub. So first off, Anana, transfer list. Vitek, I'm okay with Radek Vitek being Senna Lamon's number 2. That's fine. Elif Harrison can stay around, that's fine as well. He can be third choice. Diego Leon and Amas are both on loan. Dorgu is currently the only recognised left back at the club. However, we do have Luke Shaw in the final year of his deal. And do I think Luke Shaw will get a new deal? Probably not. Actually, will he? I think he'd get a 1-year deal. I think he'll get a 1-year deal. Let's give him a 1-year deal. Recognised centre-backs at the club, Lenny Yoro is definitely coming back from his loan. Also went up to 79 overall, which is decent. Fredrickson submitted a transfer request. Let's just make it easier for you, lad. We've released him. Aljo free, I'm going to release as well. I don't think either of them have much of a future at United. Probably same with Habib Ogane. Nusser Mazraoui. I think he's staying around. Diogo Dalot, submit a transfer request. I wish. I think realistically he probably stays around as well. I don't think United invest in a fullback this season. With Heaven, De Ligt, Martinez, Euro being our centre backs, maybe we don't sign a centre back. One thing that I'm considering doing is retraining Lissandro to be a CDM, and with that sort of timeline or time frame, that is not going to happen. So Man United need to bring in midfielders anyway, so that's fine. I think the defense probably won't be touched. Manuel Ugarte is an interesting one. I think he gets moved on to accommodate new players. Rashford, let's have it right. He's on like 300k. Ineos are going to want to sell him. As I mentioned, Sancho, we're just releasing. Ethan Ennis probably doesn't have a future at the club. He's 21 now. Again, going to release him. Dan Gore, probably the same, unfortunately. It's annoying when you see like young talent come through the under 21s, they go out on loan, but then you realize they're probably not going to be good enough to be a United player. Jack Morehouse, only 20. I don't mind giving him another loan. Mason Mount, probably going to stay. And Mbumo Ahmad, going to stay. Ethan Wheatley, I don't think has much of a future, but I'm going to loan him out. Same with Kana Biek, same with Chido Obi. Josh Xerxes probably doesn't have much of a future. Hoyland, Napoli will trigger the loan to buy. Joe Hugel doesn't have a future. So Xerxes, do I think Xerxes will stay? I don't think he will. I think he'll leave on a loan to buy though, so I'm going to loan him out first. And yeah, I think the one thing we know for sure that Man United need is a new CDM. I'm happy with Kobe and Bruno there. Maybe could do with another player to add things, add a bit of depth to the team, especially seeing as in this we won the Europa League. Sorry, we won the FA Cup, so we're in the Europa League. So we are going to need a fair few players, and with quite a few players leaving, we're going to need to make some transfers, which is the exciting part. Now, if we think about Ineos's transfer strategy so far, they've signed Prem-proven talent, your likes of Cunha and Mbumo, and they've made some strategic young signings, data-driven, that are said to have big potential, likes of Lomons, Lenny Yoro, Patrick Dorgu, the likes of that. Now, I think what they did in the first year is they signed players really tailored to the manager, your likes of De Ligt, Mazraoui, not bad players, but Joshua Xerxes, but you can tell that had Ten Hag's back in, maybe even a Manuel Ugarte. Actually, maybe not Manuel Ugarte. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But definitely this season, we've seen them sign Prem-proven and youngsters like Senna Lomons, not for too much money, but high risk, high reward, I guess. And I mean, is it that much of a risk if you're replacing Anando? Probably not. But even like the Diego Leon signing, Sekou Kone. And now, if we actually look at positions that Man United need, for one, a CDM, a new 6 is definitely needed. A 6 to start as well. Ugarte, I'm going to sell. I don't even know if Toby Collier is going to be backup number 6. So we probably need 2 6s and then a centre mid. Maybe Mount can step in midfield as well at times, but I think we probably need 3 midfielders, which is kind of crazy. Then left wing, we're going to need a bit of backup for Matthias Cunha. Now, I don't mind that being someone younger. Backup striker, if Xerxes goes, we need a backup striker. Do I think Ineos are going to sign 5-6 players in the summer? Potentially. If it's a mixture of Prem-proven and then youngsters, we very well could. We signed about 5 players last summer, so I don't think that is that unrealistic. I think the goalkeeper situation sorts itself out with Vitek. I think the defense is going to be okay for the time being. And yeah, I think the midfield is the biggest thing. 2 to 3 midfielders, a left wing, and a backup striker. Now, for the number 6, Man United are going to be looking at these players. We've seen it all over the news. So I'd be surprised if none of them sign come next summer. The one I'm thinking is probably going to get done is Carlos Baleba. Now, he's not having a very good season, but I do see him coming to Man United. I think it will be a little bit cheaper than originally 100 million price tag. I think with Adam Wharton and Crystal Palace, they're not doing badly, and Crystal Palace can probably stick to that 100 mil price tag. Elliot Anderson's an interesting one. I just don't know. I don't know why, but I don't see him going to United. So I'm probably going to rule that one out. I think Man United get a Premier League proven in inverted commas midfielder, whether it's probably going to be Baleba, even though having a bit of a bad season. And now we saw United do this with Lenny Yoro. Lille want 50 million euros for Buadi, 18-year-old. Some would say that's going to be too much. Man United are going to pay it as soon as possible and try and beat the competition. Linked with Arsenal, Chelsea, Madrid's in the conversation. Lenny Yoro was linked with a few clubs before he came to United. I actually think Ineos would be happy to overpay if it means getting the man in. So I think we've made our decision. Firstly, let's bring in Baleba. And what he's going to bring is legs to Man United's midfield. It's something we've been missing. We need athleticism, someone that can cover the pitch. Especially under Amorim, we needed that. We're still going to need it now that he's not here. And I think about £60 million is probably a realistic fee for Carlos Baleba. And the next signing between Christos Mouzakis, who, I mean, he looks really good, don't get me wrong. Maybe even someone like Keith Smith, but I think he's been linked with Real Madrid more so. So I'm going to go with Ayoub Bouadi here. We're going to pay maybe about £40 million for him. I think 50 million euros was the quoted price. And once we do that, I think our midfield options are looking a lot better. And there he is. He's going to get the number 18. And you know what? Some have actually said he's not good enough. Few PSG fans comparing him to Warren Zaire-Emery. No, he's actually really good. He's pretty versatile as well. I think for Morocco, he's slotted in at right back at times. So yeah, I mean, really good player. And I think he's going to be good for us. Now, in terms of money, we do have to remember that even though we're going to be selling a lot of players, none of it's going into the budget, which is crazy to me. But what can you do? Maybe the wage will contribute, like losing the wages. I don't know. Well, we've got 81 million left to spend. And we've still got maybe like 3 or 4 players we want to bring in. I think we'll leave the midfield for now. I'm happy with Baleba and Bouadi rotating in that DM position. Going to try and, you know, I might loan out Ugarte and then sell him come the end of the season if they're not trying to give us the money for transfers. Left wing, realistically, Ahmad could slot in. Mount could slot in. Xerxes, I think, would want to leave. So I think Man United do need to bring in a backup striker. Maybe someone a bit more experienced than Benjamin Šeško. Maybe even someone Prem proven, but I just don't know how much that's going to cost us at the minute. And then I feel like we do need to bring in another wonder kid alongside Bouadi. But I think we can work this out. We can make the squad a little bit thinner and see what it's looking like. Now, I do think Man United will also be on the lookout for some bargains, some deals. And honestly, Matthias Mane, he played in the midfield, but looks like he can play kind of anywhere. And against Man United, the draw against Wolves, he was superb. So with Wolves going down, I see Man United potentially going for him. I mean, Ineos do like a bargain. So I think I'm going to bring him in. And realistically, I think it only cost United a few million to bring him in. He's only 18 as well. So maybe like a similar deal to Aiden Heaven Chido Obi, although he is getting first team football at the minute. And also, Jürgen Strand Larsen, he hasn't agreed a deal anywhere else, as far as I'm aware. Good backup to Šeško, has a bit more experience, scored a ton of goals last year. And this season, been a bit slower, but Wolves are relegated. So I don't see this being too unrealistic. Maybe give him 22.5. I think in real life, with the prices, it probably would be a bit more. They want to do a swap deal for Xerxes. I would love to, but I don't think Xerxes would be willing to go down to the championship. He'd probably rather go abroad. So we'll agree on 24 mil. And there he is. I think he's a similar profile to Šeško, but with a few more years of experience on his side, good rotation option for Europa League as well. I think it would be a smart signing from Man United. Now, lastly, I do think we need to try and sort out the left wing. I would love to bring in someone like Rodrigo. Honestly, he'd be amazing. But I kind of think, realistically, would he choose Liverpool over Man United? Probably. I also thought about Saeed Almala, but would he choose Bayern over Man United? Probably. So maybe a little bit unrealistic. This Rodrigo one, though, Man United could get it done. But then, like, where do we play Cunha? Unless let's enter negotiations, because with Amorim leaving, something's telling me there it's not out of the realm of possibility that this man leaves. That's right, Bruno Fernandes. Now, obviously, I don't want him to leave, but could we have a future where you've got Rodrigo left wing, Seshko up front, right wing Mbumo, the number 10 is Cunha, and then you've got the likes of Baleba and Mainu playing behind them? I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. Bruno Fernandes, I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. Should I do it? I just realized Slot's the Real Madrid manager. I don't know how he managed that. But you know what? You know what? In a week or so, when United appoint a real manager, I think we'll rebuild and Bruno probably will be staying. But for this, why not take Bruno at Real Madrid? I feel like I more see him at a Barca, but I don't think it's against or is that far-fetched. I do think United would probably have to pay a bigger fee though, just because of the age of Bruno. And I don't know, it's not kind of the profile in terms of age that Real Madrid usually go for, but he's a quality player nonetheless. And I think Rodrigo would be a star at Man United, obviously. So does mean we change the system a little bit. Again, I don't mind it. He is going to be on big money for us. Hopefully he'll be happy with 180. Lovely stuff. Bruno's just left and Rodrigo has just joined. Would you take that deal in real life, guys? Let me know. I'm going to have to say this is a semi-realistic rebuild now, because maybe Real Madrid don't do that. They probably don't, but here we are. Maybe even a swap deal for like Bruno going to Barcelona and Rafinha coming to Man United. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I know the weird thing about this whole thing is, though, the transfer we've just made is the entire video I've spoken about a shortage in midfield for Man United, but it kind of goes against what what I've been saying, isn't it? However, with this, I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1 wide, probably. Yeah, let's say 4-2-3-1 wide. And even like Kobe could play in the 10 sometimes, and we can rotate. But let's have a look. So we've got Rodrigo now, and Mbumo's there. Going to be Kobe and Baleba, and then Cunha's going to play the 10. I think that's a really nice team, really nice looking team. Would it be Martinez and Euro? Probably be Martinez and De Ligt, I'd say, with the backup being Højlund. Sorry, Højlund. I don't know where he came from. Heaven, and it'll probably be Heaven and Euro. Yeah, so let's once the World Cup's done, let's look at the starting lineup and then the backup, and let's see what we think about the team. And guys, what do you think about this one? Marconda to Stegen probably at some point will leave Barcelona. We've got Juan Garcia or Jean Garcia, and Chesney's still there. They got keepers coming through. Marcus Rashford did want to stay at Barca. I know in the game it doesn't really make sense, but I think this isn't that unrealistic. Doing a lot of swap deals today, and I do like Senna Lamons as well. Obviously going to be United starting goalkeeper. Maybe we'll even give him the starting spot, and we'll let Ter Stegen and him battle it out. But for as long as I can remember, like post all the nonsense years, right? Man United have had two good goalkeepers at the club, whether it was De Gea and Romero or whoever, right? So, or like Van der Sar, and even Anders Lindegaard was pretty good. So let's do this. I think that's not too unrealistic. And obviously, I don't know, I do like Senna Lamons, but if Ter Stegen's available and you can, let's say Barca give us a bit of cash and Ter Stegen for Marcus Rashford, I don't think you say no. And you got the 300k off the books. I mean, no brainer. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really would like to know your thinking on this, but we've just completed a swap deal with Barcelona. Now, bear in mind, I'm making these deals based on Man United being in the Europa League next year, since we won the FA Cup in this. So Ter Stegen gets game time in the league. Lamons is now the cup keeper. Unfair treatment, perhaps, but also we've gotten rid of a lot of experience. One thing I do need to check on is the amount of homegrown players we have, because right now it doesn't look much. We've got Kobe, Collier, Luke Shaw, Cheeto, Mount. Okay, now we have a few. Maybe Ahmad counts, I'm not too sure. Radek Vitek will count, but we'll probably get him alone now that we've brought into Stegen. And then maybe I need to bring in one English player just to balance the books a bit. Aiden Heavens here, he's not going to get loaned out. So yeah, we need to get some more sales done because I'm still seeing a lot of players that I don't really want to see here, maybe long term. But I think we're looking good. We're probably never going to fully rotate the full 11. So I think it's a good team. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And these are the transfers. So Agarte went out on loan. We loaned out a few others. Obviously brought in ter Stegen, Rodrigo, Mane, loaned him back out. Larson, Boadi, Beleba, and then loaned out some of the youngsters like Karnabiak, Obi, Vitek, Wheatley, and Anana was sold, Hoyland was sold, Xerxes loaned out, probably to be sold end of the season. And so we've made it to the end of the season. As you can see, we are in 4th. And to be fair, we could finish 3rd. If we end up beating Man City, who have walked away with the league, ran away with the league, to be honest, then... And if Arsenal drop points against Chelsea, it could be a possibility. As for the teams getting relegated, it is Sheffield United, Sunderland, and Norwich. So interesting stuff there. I'd say it's an okay season. We're back in the Champions League, which is good. Top scorer wise, it was Erling Haaland. Nice to see both Rodrigo and Seshko though showing up with 22 goals. Really good to see. As for assists, it was Haaland, Isak, and Nuno Mendes. And then that's crazy. So Haaland got 28 goals, 10 assists, and then clean sheets goes to, where are we? Anana got more clean sheets than any of our goalkeepers. The last game of the season sees us beat Man City. Okay, we got Rodrigo representing. Okay, and as for other competitions, Carabao, Brentford won the Carabao. Where did we finish? Oh, we knocked out early. Lost on penalties to Villa. FA Cup, Arsenal won the FA Cup on penalties. We lost again, seems like early on, to Liverpool. Okay, tough draws, to be fair. Europa League saw Leverkusen win it. We finished top of the group stage, taking us... Oh, we lost in the round of 16 to Rayo Vallecano. And we must have been winning and then lost 4-2. We absolutely bottled it. That's not ideal. Not ideal. No cups won, but we did get Champions League football, so I guess it's okay. Let's look at stats. Now, as for the stats on the season, Benjamin Šeško, 30 goals. I mean, one day I would like to see Benjamin Šeško with 30 goals for United. Rodrigo just behind him with 29 and 12 assists, so very good performance from him. Mbumo, 14 and 4, Ahmad 8 and 3, Cunha 7 and 7. It's okay. Xerxes on loan getting 5 goals, fair enough. In terms of players that didn't play, okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We'll have a look at what we can do. Kobe played 26 games, which is pretty good. Ter Stegen and Lomans, they sort of halved it, but Ter Stegen's starting to go down. Lomans is 83. So yeah, okay, probably next season we'll see Lomans starting. But I don't mind the team. I don't mind the team. Let's get into the next season. Okay, into season number 3. And you know what? I think the team looks good. We'll probably start Sene Lamons this season. Dorgu probably could be higher rated, but he's growing all right, so we'll probably keep him around. Amas is back up, so I don't mind it. We've got Yoro and Shaw and Heaven. I'm not sure Luke Shaw would still be at the club by this time, though, so I'm probably going to try and move him on. And maybe we'll move on Mason Mount as well, who is in the final year of his deal. And because they're both English players, we probably want to bring in a homegrown player or two. But as for the rest of the squad, I think we probably need another centre-back maybe. I don't know. We could probably survive with Lissandro, De Ligt, Yoro and Heaven. But I kind of want to loan out Heaven because he's way better than the 73 overall that he's been given. We might move on Dallo perhaps. So I'd say we probably need to bring in a 10, a left mid, maybe a centre back. I think at DM, perhaps we could bring in someone. I'm not too sure. We could survive with those 3, but we might leave it. We might leave it. I think overall we need to look for a bit of experience, and maybe a new right back. Definitely a new right back. And because we're back in the Champions League, we've got a big budget, 226 million, so we can try and spend quite a bit of it, so we can hopefully get Man United challenging for titles. That is the main goal of United. So let's see who we find. So I think we found our right back, Santiago Mourinho. He can play right back and centre back. He's 81 rated, so same rating as Mazraoui. Kind of similar to Mazraoui, I guess. But he is 6'1". So he should be able to survive in the Prem with the physicality and everything. I think maybe like 35 mil for him, but ultimately, you know what? I don't mind giving them Strand Larsen here. 19 million plus Strand Larsen is quite a lot, but if we can get that down maybe to like 10-ish million, I'd be happy. They want 17 and 8. Okay, we go 16, 15, 14, but I could go up to 16. Okay, 14 and a half's good. Cool. And so him and Mazraoui going to battle it out for the right back position. And this signing is actually a big signing. Sorting out the Strand Larsen position, it is Morgan Rogers. I don't feel like it looks like a face scan, but it is Morgan Rogers, and he is going to be really good for us. I'm going to play him in the number 10. I'm going to make Cunha our backup striker, so him and Seshko can rotate. We've got Champions League football, so we need quality players in every position. So, I mean, I'd love Morgan Rogers to join Man United. You saw what happened when we played Villa. It was the Morgan Rogers show. Literally, obviously, Euro probably could have done better, but Morgan Rogers, very good. Now, he's now at Newcastle for whatever reason, but cost us 85 million. And now we're moving Cunha to striker. I'm bringing in a backup 10, and that is Chris Rigg. Now, Sunderland got relegated, so he's probably going to be looking for a move. And he hasn't set the world light in the Premier League just yet, but I thought it made sense. Now, guys, this is what the team looks like when it's rotated. So as you can see, like Rodrigo, Dorgu, Martinez, we don't have backup players for those positions. They're all really in the starting lineup. So also Kobe and Bwadi, one of them are going to start. So I think I'm more worried about getting a DM, a backup DM, just in case. And then also a backup left back. I do think with a trio of centre backs and Mourinho, who can play centre back as well, we should be okay. So a left back and a CDM are the last two positions we're going to sign. And I already know who I want. 80 rated Alex Scott at Bournemouth. I think he's still got bags of potential. I think he's entering the final year of his deal, so we should be able to get him a little bit cheaper. We still got loads of money, so you know what? I'll give Bournemouth a bit more. But yeah, we're going to bring him in. And he's quite versatile too, so probably could play in the number 10 if we needed him to. But it gives us a bit more legs in the middle. And for left back, I wanted someone that could play maybe both left back and left mid if push comes to shove. And Malik Diouf he's shown he's got a lot of pace and he can cross a ball. So I think that's enough for me. I do think though, the way we've built this team is that when AFCON comes round again, it's going to be an interesting one. Okay, and now this is what the team looks like when fully rotated. But obviously, we could even do something like this. Cunha left mid and Chido will be up front. I might not loan him out. I probably will loan him out. But as you can see, we do have a few different options now. Right back doesn't look great, but it is where it is. Mazraoui could start and play. So, yeah, loads of options. This is the business done. Xerxes managed to get a move to Barca. Ugarte to... who's that? Atalanta, I think. Mason Mount went to Sturm Graz, which is fair enough. Luke Shaw went to Newcastle. We loaned out quite a few players. Dallo went to Athletic Bilbao. And obviously signed Alex Scott as well. So I think a good window for us. Let me know your thoughts. And let's sim to the end of the season and see how we're doing. And guys, I think the target for this season, realistically, I want to say Prem finish. Obviously, we want to challenge for the title. Between first and third, I think should be about right. We're now in the Champions League as well. I'd be happy with a quarter-final. Quarter-final in the Champions League works well. And getting to the final of a domestic trophy, I'd be happy with as well. So we've got the depth. We've got the youngsters. Ter Stegen's injured again. We've got Senna Lamons anyway. Let's see how we're doing come the end of the season. So guys, we've reached the end of the season. And as you can see, not the best. To be fair, we're only 9 points off top, which isn't too bad, but we're not in a Champions League place, which means unless we win the Champions League next season, we won't be in the UCL. Now, one game left. We've got West Ham. Liverpool have Nottingham Forest, but the likelihood is they probably beat Nottingham Forest. West Ham finished last, so it should be a guaranteed win, but nothing's guaranteed in the Prem. Let's see how we do, and let's see if we have Champions League football next year. I do hope so. And so we take care of business with a 2-1 win. Rodrigo and Seshko. Feels like it's always them scoring. And Liverpool drew against Forest. I didn't check goal difference. Do we have Champions League football? We do. Lovely stuff. That is absolutely amazing. Final day, Liverpool bottle it. Okay, we get Champions League football yet again. I think next season might be our last. But if you want to see a part 2, comment part 2. Now we have Mbeumo, Rodrigo representing Seshko as well. But winning it again, or drawing actually, was Saka and Haaland. And then the assists, it was a three-way tie between Isak, Rodrigo and Kudus. Morgan Rogers doing well, getting 10 assists there. And ter Stegen started in goal for us this season. Fair play, he got 9 clean sheets, second to Marmadashvili. As for competitions, it's Barca versus City. Unfortunately, we lost. Embarrassing loss as well, 6-1 on aggregate to Barcelona, who have Xerxes and Rashford, which adds insult to injury. Let's just see top scorers. Okay, they're not really involved in Barca's success though, so I guess that's not too bad. In fact, we could even go a step further and look at their team stats for the competition. And Ansu Fati, really? Josh Xerxes 4-4, that's pretty good to be fair. And I think Marcus Rashford might have been moved on. Oh no, he just doesn't play. Fair enough. As for the FA Cup, Man City won that. We lost in the quarters to Liverpool. And then the Carabao Cup, Newcastle won that. We lost to Newcastle in the semi. So we done okay in terms of getting a bit further in competitions. We did get Champions League football. Let's have a look at the stats on the season. And we didn't have anyone in the team of the season, unfortunately. Player of the season went to Anthony Gordon. And as for top scorer, Benjamin Seshko leading the way, 89 overall now. He is looking really good. Rodrigo, first player up to 90. Brian Mbeumo, 88 rated. And 19 and 10. Morgan Rogers done very well with 18 and 16, 11 and 10 in the league. Mazraoui, 6 and 3. You know who I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing Matthias Cunha. Did he get injured again? I mean, breaking was it his tailbone? Yeah, probably struggled coming back from that injury. As you can see, didn't really play too much, and when he did, a bit lackluster. Sander Lamons didn't play much either, despite him now being higher rated than ter Stegen. That's going to change next season for sure. Vitek done well on his loan as well. Malik Juf, 83 overall. I would have expected a bit more goal involvements, but him and Dorgu rotating is fine. Aiden Heaven only up +1. I'm not too sure I'm happy with that. But Lenny Yoro is up to an 83. And the added competition for Mazraoui has pushed him on to 83 overall as well. And the signing of the summer probably was Alex Scott. Didn't expect him to play much, but grew by 3 and actually played quite a bit. So interestingly enough, despite the signings we've made, this is still a semi-realistic rebuild. Real Madrid want Lisandro Martinez. Honestly, if they came in for Lisandro, he'd probably go there. So let's see if we can maybe get a bit more money out of them. And then Lisandro is off to Real Madrid. Okay, guys, and Lisandro Martinez leaves for Real Madrid. This is what our squad is looking like for season number 4. I think we really got to go all out. This could be the final season. We want to win the league. We want to win another trophy of some sort. I think a world-class centre-back to play alongside Lenny Yoro would be great. I think full-back positions are fine. We've got Juf, we've got Dorgu, we've got Mourinho, we've got Mazraoui. Right mid, we've got Mbeumo, Ahmad. Technically, we don't have a left mid to back up Rodrigo. But if he were to get injured, then Cunha could just play left mid. Rogers, his backup is Chris Rigg. I don't mind it. Seshko's backup is Cunha. Scott, we've got Boadi and Kobe. I think our team looks really good. Let's just sign a world-class centre-back. And I think that should be the business done. And seeing as we're back in the Champions League, got over 200 million yet again, maybe I sign a left mid as well. Probably I do. But let's see if we can find that world-class centre-back first. And so Bahoya joins in at left mid, 82 overall. Okay, and with the new signings, this is the team depth. So Schlotterbeck, our highest rated defender, Lomen starting in goal, Belaba, Rodrigo, Rogers. Alex Scott is actually higher rated than both Boadi and Kobe, so fair enough. And then Seshko and Rogers. And the second team looks a lot stronger than it was last year. Only position missing really as a backup centre back. And I think Aiden Heaven comes back from loan in January, I want to say. But worst case, you know, Mazraoui could move over. Mourinho could play. We've still got loads of options. So we've made it to the end of the season and we finished third. No Premier League title for us, unfortunately. And no Champions League title either. We lost to Barca again. So, I mean, for ages, for the longest I can remember, Barca have had our number in the Champions League, except for that time Paul Scholes scored that banger and we beat them 1-0. But Barca Juve final, shout out to Juve. Haven't been in a final for a few years. And FA Cup is going to... Oh, we lost. Oh, man, we lost the FA Cup in the final. Carabao Cup, looks like we lost pretty early on. We lost to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. So disappointing, no trophies, but I think it's been a good journey. Let's have a look at the top scorer. Did we manage to win it? Not even in the top 5. No one scored 16 goals. That is terrible. Oh, sorry. Rodrigo actually won it. Okay, fair enough. I don't know why it came out like that, but Rodrigo won the Golden Boot. That's something to celebrate. Assist went to Phil Foden. Clean sheet. Senna Lamont made the top 5, but it went to Vicario. Really? Fair enough. And as for team stats, wow, Rodrigo, 32 goals, 19 assists. What a signing he's turned out to be. 24 goals for Benjamin Seshko. And Mbumo up to 90, 17. And Morgan Rogers, 16 and 13. Pretty good. Malik Diouf, 8 and 4. These are the numbers I kind of wanted to see from him in last season. Chris Rigg playing 11 times and scoring 5 goals. Pretty good. Schlotterbeck as well. Good average rating, I'd say. Especially in the Champions League and the Prem. And the FA Cup is all the same, 6.53. Fair enough. Boadi saw some growth. We saw Bahoyo get some game time. Ahmad has literally stayed 82 rated for the longest. Probably because he hasn't played much. Same with Collier, same with... I don't know why Collier's played more than Kobe. Happens. Delict played a bit. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I do like the team we've built. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The final thing we will check is on the player of the season. It was Erling Haaland. Team of the season. Did we have anyone representing? Yes, we did. We had Nico Schlotterbeck. So ended up being a good signing, guys. Let me know. Comment part 2 if you want to see a part 2. Leave a like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again next time.